After slapping the little sweetheart of Chi Sihan, he sent my entire family to the mental hospital. From then on, I didn't dare to argue with him anymore. Lin Huan suffers from menstrual cramps. I make ginger tea for her. When Lin Huan gives birth, I stay up late to take care of her. It wasn't until the child of him and Lin Huan was born that I dared carefully ask him to let my family be free. But Chi Sihan simply smiled mockingly, and casually uttered those words. Year after year, do you know how I first met Huan Huan? My breath hit the ground, and my nails dug deep into my palms. It was your dear brother and father who personally brought her into my bed. Year after year, she is your half-sister, born from a different father. He looked at my increasingly pale face, with a mocking expression on his face. Then he pulled out his phone and showed it to me. Your father and brother have never been in a psychiatric hospital. During these 3 years, they have been accompanying Huan Huan all the time. On the screen, Dad and brother were gathered around Lin Huan and her children. Their faces showed a satisfaction and joy that I had never seen before. In that instant, my eyes turned red. My heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. Every piece of it was torn apart. Chi Sihan continued to talk on his own. Every year, you have been very good during these 3 years. Keep it up. If you want any kind of compensation, I will give it to you. But, he smiled in a subtle way, even if I offered you compensation, you probably wouldn't want it, right? I wiped away my tears and smiled, turning my face up. Chi Sihan, then please compensate me with 100 million. I don't want such husbands and relatives at all. Chi Sihan's expression became momentarily stunned. What did you say? I looked up straight into his eyes, my voice trembling slightly. Since you want to compensate me, then give me money instead. I want 100 million. Not a single less than that. Chi Sihan's gaze became cold. He suddenly sneered, speaking towards the mobile phone on the table. Huan Huan, it seems that none of us guessed correctly. The screen suddenly turned into a video call interface. Lin Huan looked at me with a mocking smile on his face. Sui Jia, we made a bet that when you learn the truth, you will ask Sihan for compensation. I bet you will refuse to pay any compensation, and go so crazy as to destroy the office. Brother Sihan, I bet you will use this as a leverage to force him into never divorcing. As for Dad and brother, one of them guessed that you would ask Sihan to send me away, while the other guessed that you would resort to self-harm in order to get him to compromise. She turned the camera away. Dad held Lin Huan's child with a smiling face, but when he saw me, all his smiles disappeared instantly. Year after year, I really didn't expect that you would actually ask Sihan for money. In these years, has the Meng family really reduced your food or clothing? How can you become so materialistic? What's the difference between you and those whorehouses outside? The brother touched Lin Huan's head, his eyes filled with affection and helplessness. But the moment he looked at the camera, his demeanor once again became cold and indifferent. Year after year, I know that you are still angry inside. If you are short of money, I can transfer the amount to you, but you shouldn't ask Han for it. Huan Huan and Sihan truly love each other. They have no reason to be indebted to you at all. Is that so? With red eyes, I interrupted him. They stole my husband, stole my father and brother, and ruined my marriage and my family. She deceived me for 3 years, pretending to be my nanny for the same 3 years. Does this really mean that I didn't owe anything to you? My brother frowned. Every year, please don't speak in such unpleasant ways. We didn't mean to deceive you. It's just that you have a stubborn nature since you were a child. Otherwise, how could you have accepted Huan Huan? Huan Huan has been in a bad mood since giving birth. We were worried that she might suffer from postpartum depression, so we came up with this bet as a way to cheer her up. Please don't take it to heart. I touched my lips slightly. Since that's the case, then just give me the money. Dad gave me 50 million, and my brother gave me 30 million. I can still continue to act with you, and serve as Lin Huan's nanny. What do you think of this idea? My brother's face is completely pale. Meng Suiyan, how long do you plan to keep causing trouble? I sneered and said, it's just a little amount of money after all. Could it be that the powerful families in City S, such as the Qi family and the Meng family, really can't afford to spend even that little amount of money? Enough. Since you really like money, I'll give it to you. Chi Sihan glanced at me, then pulled out a document from the drawer. Huan Huan has given birth to a child. My child, Chi Sihan's child, must not be born out of wedlock. By signing this divorce agreement, I will send you 100 million immediately. I looked at those few pages of thin paper. Without a moment's hesitation, I grabbed a pen and wrote down my name on it. Chi Si-han's expression towards me suddenly became somewhat complicated. Do you really care about money so much? You weren't like this before, wasn't you? I endured the agonizing pain in my heart, and managed to force out a smile that seemed completely indifferent. If I don't want any money, what can you give me? He stared at me intently, his dark eyes filled with a deep, mysterious gaze. Maybe you could ask me not to get divorced. Every year, as long as you ask me to do this, I will immediately cancel this agreement. Ask him. I clenched my lips tightly, recalling those few months when I first discovered that he was having an affair with Lin Huan. I pleaded with him countless times. They even went so far as to force him to return home by cutting his own hand. But my blood flowed all over the ground, only to earn him a single word in return. Don't do this again next time. Huan might get dizzy from blood. And then what happened? I looked at him calmly, and said sarcastically, and then you want to tell me that this is some kind of game between you guys, with the goal of testing my jokes. I laughed bitterly, my throat feeling sore. Chi Si-han, stop testing me anymore. Don't you think you've already played me enough in these 3 years? A cold liquid touched her cheek. The tears that had been suppressed for so long, finally flowed down at this moment. Chi Si-han subconsciously raised his hand to wipe away my tears. For a moment, it seemed like a sense of guilt flashed through his eyes. He sighed. After all, Huan now has a child from me. She's still young, so she can be a little willful sometimes. As her sister, you should be more gentle with her. Don't worry, Mrs. Chi. I will keep her place reserved for her. Getting married to Huan is simply a way to register the child's household registration. He paused for a moment, then added, with a hint of concern in his voice, I will give you 100 million. You can spend some time with the money. After I have settled everything, we will get back together again. Now you should be satisfied, right? I raised my face and smiled, giving a soft hum. Then please book me a ticket to Switzerland. We agreed to go together and see the lakes in the Alps. He sighed in relief and hugged me tightly. Good. You go ahead first. I will accompany you again after everything is over. Year after year. Wait for me. I leaned on his shoulder, and didn't say anything else. But I know in my heart that I will no longer wait for him. Chi Si-han waited until I showed some compromise before he finally spoke. Please give me the keys to the villa. I will move out and live there for now. Huan wants to move in. You know that she isn't in a good mood after giving birth. Please make sure everything is clean, so she won't see anything that might affect her mood. Anyway, this villa has been occupied for so many years, and it's already old. You shouldn't keep arguing with her. He cleared his throat slightly, then took out a bunch of keys and a property document from the drawer. I already bought you a new villa in the southern part of the city. You can move everything there first. I remained silent, but I remembered the moment we bought that villa. We worked together to design the layout of the house. We decided on the color of the bed curtains and the paintings to hang in the entrance area. We also agreed to create 2 children's bedrooms, one pink and one blue. He said that was our love nest. He personally carved a plaque and hung it at the entrance of the villa, named Sui Hanju. But later, he spent the whole night with Lin Huan in the office, while I was alone in that empty villa, losing my child. I smiled, and handed him the keys. It's okay. The new ones are also very good. In the future, everything I possess will be new, not just the house. After leaving the Chi building, I went alone to the mental hospital. In the past 3 years, I have countless times pushed open the door of the hospital room, seeing my father and brother lying in bed, acting in plays, until I cried until I fainted. But none of them knew that I met someone here. I pushed open the door of the hospital room. The sunlight streamed in through the windows. A young man was sitting on the windowsill, gazing into the distance. He had sharp eyes and a demeanor that exuded a sense of indifference and arrogance. His hair fell forward over his forehead, covered in a layer of light gold under the sunlight. If there were journalists present here, they might recognize that this is the younger son of the famous shipowner from Country M, who was sent to a mental hospital a few years ago. I spoke slowly. I have money now. I will take you with me. Chi Si-han doesn't know that the place I really want to go to isn't Switzerland, but Country M. When I was going back to the villa to pack my things, the servant saw me and seemed somewhat surprised. He tried to say something, but then stopped. I frowned and walked into the living room, only then to understand the reason. I saw that all my belongings were scattered all over the floor of the villa, and Lin Huan, wearing a pure white wedding dress, walked down the stairs. I bit my lip, staring at her intently. She lifted her skirt, smiling with curled lips. Sister, this is the bar that Brother Si-han personally designed for you back in the past. But, Brother Si-han has already agreed to give it to me. Brother Si-han said that, since your figure has changed over time, it's unlikely that you'll be able to wear that wedding dress anymore. So, I'm just lucky to have the chance to wear this dress. She lifted her skirt and turned around. Sister, do you think I look good in your clothes? Does it look okay? The pristine wedding dress looked like a dream under the crystal-lit lighting. Lin Huan had a beautiful face, full of happiness and charm. That year, Chi Si-han spent several nights straight working on designing the wedding dress. The first time I wore this wedding dress, he said, year after year, this is a unique white veil in the world. It is dedicated to you, the unique individual among all others. Words still ring in my ears, yet people's hearts have changed. Lin Huan doesn't know that even Chi Si-han doesn't want her anymore. How could she possibly still care about a wedding dress that has no meaning at all? I smiled calmly, and the clenched fists gradually relaxed. Lin Huan, hasn't anyone told you that you need to pay for using someone else's things? This wedding dress is worth $30 million. I hope you can transfer the money into my account as soon as possible. Lin Huan's expression changed instantly. You bitch. You have occupied Brother Si-han, taken away my family for so many years. And how dare you still ask for money? As she spoke, she raised her hand in a gesture, ready to rush forward and hit me. The hem of the dress was too heavy to handle. I quickly stepped back, and Lin Huan stumbled over the hem of the dress, falling to the ground. Dad and brother rushed down from upstairs. Huan, what's wrong? My brother stared at me with a furious look on his face. Meng Suiyan, is it you again who are bullying Huan? Before I could even speak, a slap hit me hard on the face. One of my cheeks is experiencing a burning, painful sensation. I stared at my father in disbelief. Dad's face turned red, and he said in a cold voice, I know you are angry, and you never truly accepted Huan as your own child. But she just gave birth to a child, and she's very weak. How could you ever touch her in any way? Lin Huan said this with a voice filled with tears and resentment. Dad, please don't get angry with sister. It has nothing to do with her. Sister said that this dress costs 30 million yuan. If I don't have enough money to pay for it, then I have no right to wear it. But I really don't have enough money. And she didn't do it on purpose. She raised her head with a pitiful look. It's all because I don't have enough money to give it to my sister. Dad, brother, did you give her money? Then maybe she won't be angry with me anymore. Dad snorted loudly, clearly furious. Huan, you're too kind-hearted. Giving money to that bitch? She definitely won't accept it. I should have known better. She's just like her mother, a woman who's completely greedy for money. A sudden pain rushed through my heart. I covered my face and stared at him intently. He had a fierce appearance, constantly cursing and swearing. The mask of years of fatherly love seemed to be breaking apart at that moment. The older brother was quick to stop him. Dad, please don't do this. A glimmer of hope emerged in my heart, but in the next second, he spoke in a cold tone. If we get her angry, and she causes trouble at Huan's wedding, that would be very bad. Since she loves money, it's better to give it to her. As if I were giving it to a beggar. He casually pulled out a card and threw it towards me, his tone filled with extreme disgust. There's more than 30 million in my account. Is that enough? Take the money and get lost. Don't show yourself before Huan again, or it will ruin our mood. I stared down at that black card that belonged to the Meng family. The last trace of concern in my heart finally faded away at this moment. I slowly bent down and picked up the black card, smiling indifferently, looking at the messy pile of luggage in the living room. I don't feel like cleaning it up anymore. Since Mr. Meng is willing to pay this price, I'll sell them all to you. I stared at him with irony. Since President Xiao Meng has already accepted his new sister and new mother, it's natural that I, the old sister, won't bother you anymore. From now on, I will have no further connection with your Meng family. I picked out my documents from the luggage on the ground, then turned to leave. Wait a moment, Lin Huan looked at me with a cold expression. Since you said that 300 million will buy me everything, isn't there something that should be kept aside? I'm a bit confused. She sneered. You've already divorced Brother Si-han. So, You shouldn't wear that wedding ring anymore, right? Looking at the gold ring on my middle finger, I suddenly understood everything. This gold ring was a gift from Chi Si-han to me, during the time when we were in a relationship. It was he who personally crafted the wedding rings for the couple. Our names are engraved on them. He said that gold is the most stable element in the world. It's just like our love. But we have all forgotten that gold is also a very malleable metal. A little bit of force from any direction can completely change its appearance. I have been entangled with Chi Si-han for 10 years. This ring has become a part of my hand. I cannot take it off. I tried to remove it twice, but it wouldn't come off. So, I picked up the scissors on the table and cut the ring off. The moment the scissors cut through the ring, a harsh shout came from the doorway. Meng Suiyan, what are you doing? The scissors in my hands were taken away by someone else. Chi Si-han hugged me tightly in his arms. Do you really want to hurt yourself again? His gaze fell on the broken ring, and his voice stopped abruptly. He found it hard to believe. You really did cut off that ring. Why? Brother Si-han, it's me who wants this ring. Only then did Chi Si-han notice Lin Huan standing by his side. Lin Huan looked pale, her fingers tightly gripping the hem of her skirt. Sister has already sold everything to me for 30 million. Brother Si-han, this ring was made by you yourself. I want to take it back. Do you mind? Chi Si-han quickly let go of me, and smiled affectionately at Lin Huan. Huan, this ring is already out of style. If you really like gold, I can make you a new one. Lin Huan's eyes were filled with tears. Then I want you to melt this ring and make me a new one instead. You said that, when our children are born, you will give me everything I want. Chi Si-han remained silent for a long time, then nodded helplessly. Good. I smirked, twitched my lips slightly, pulled out the ring and threw it on the ground. Then I turned around and walked away. But Lin Huan once again called out to me. Sister, you said that you no longer have any connection with the Meng family. But there's still one thing that you need to hand over. She looked at those men with red eyes. Dad, brother, Si-han, I am the daughter of the Meng family. I want to change my name and surname so that I can return to the Meng family. Dad quickly nodded in agreement. Good. It's a good thing that you want to return to the Meng family. Dad will immediately find a master to help you change your name. However, Lin Huan interrupted him. Dad, I've already decided on my future name. She slightly raised her lips. I want to call out Meng Shuiyan. So, sister, please change your name. Okay, brother Si-han, this is my last request. You will definitely fulfill it for me, right? Shuiyan is the name my mother gave me. It means peace and safety every year. Chi Si-han knew about this, but after a brief struggle, he managed to speak up anyway. Every year, then you should change your name. I will give you money as compensation. I curled my lips slightly and nodded. Yes, as long as you provide the necessary funds. Chi Si-han finally breathed a sigh of relief. I will immediately arrange for someone to send you another 50 million. Soon after, the people from Chi Si-han took me to the police station to change my name. I held the brand new ID in my hand, smiling slightly at the sky. Name, identity, love. I have abandoned all of this in the past. From now on, I want to live a truly free life. When I arrived at the airport, Chi Si-han called me. Year after year, once you have settled on a new name, you can go back to the southern villa first. I've already sent someone to move everything there. Huan is just having a little childish temper. After some time, I will help her get back on track. Don't worry about it anymore. I responded briefly, then hung up the phone. On the screen is the message sent to me by the real estate agent. Sister, the villa has been sold as you requested. The customers were very happy to get a good price for it. The money has already been transferred. Let's see if you can confirm that it's arrived. I responded briefly, confirmed that the amount had been credited to my account, and then threw the phone card into the trash can at the airport. Then, she gave a slight smile to the young boy beside her. Let's go. The plane is about to take off soon. Half a month later, at a business cocktail party in City S, Lin Huan held Chi Si-han's hand, her face filled with joy and happiness. Someone approached with a flattering demeanor. I believe you are Ms. Meng Shuiyan, the wife of President Qi. Back then, our company faced financial difficulties and was on the verge of bankruptcy. It was you who overcame all opposition and persuaded President Qi to cooperate with us. I will always remember your kindness. However, I never had the chance to meet you in person. The person raised their glass in admiration. I never expected that Ms. Meng, who used to be so successful in the business world, would be so young and gentle in real life. Lin Huan was momentarily stunned, but she did not deny it. Thank you. Everything I have done was to help Si-han and the Qi family. Watching Lin Huan with a smiling face, Qi Si-han couldn't help but feel a bit of irritation in his heart. Meng Suiyan has done so much for him. He doesn't mention those things, but that doesn't mean he has forgotten them. Many years ago, she was also his trusted assistant in the business world, but later, she became pregnant and retreated to the background, while he became husband to Lin Huan. After returning to the villa, Qi Si-han calmly removed the arm that Lin Huan was holding onto. Huan, please make a reservation for a time when you can change your name back. Lin Huan's smiling face suddenly became rigid. What's wrong with this name? I think it's quite good. Qi Si-han interrupted her impatiently. Since I first met you, you were called Lin Huan. Now, suddenly I have to be called Meng Suiyan. Do you realize how strange this feels? Besides, my son will go through the household registration process tomorrow. Do you really want his biological mother to be named Meng Suiyan? Qi Si-han rubbed his forehead. Tomorrow, I will send someone to take you to the police station. You can choose to be called Lin Huan, Meng Huan, or whatever you want. But please stop using the name Meng Suiyan anymore. The smile on Lin Huan's face gradually faded away, replaced by a look of ferocity and unwillingness to accept defeat. She gritted her teeth, lowered her head, and said obediently, Si-han Gu. I understand. Qi Si-han's expression became slightly more relaxed, but that sense of annoyance in his heart still lingered on. He picked up the coat on the sofa and said coldly, the company still has some matters to be handled. I'll go out for a while. You can go to sleep first. Before he knew it, Qi Si-han had already driven the car to the entrance of the villa in the south part of the city. He looked at the lights shining in the distance, and couldn't help but feel a subtle sense of joy. Is it possible that Meng Suiyan returned from Switzerland earlier than expected? She must have been afraid of disturbing herself and Lin Huan. That's why she returned to this villa alone and quietly. Thinking of this, Qi Si-han stopped the car and walked over to it. He held his breath, carefully entered the lock code, ready to give Meng Suiyan a surprise. After several attempts, it still results in incorrect passwords. Just then, the door opened from inside. A completely unfamiliar man frowned at Qi Si-han, his tone very unfriendly. What are you going to do? Qi Si-han was momentarily stunned. A sense of unease arose in his mind. He grabbed the man by the collar and asked, gritting his teeth, who are you? Where is Meng Suiyan? Are you Meng Suiyan's lover? Only then did the man understand what was going on. He grunted slightly, but still tried to explain patiently. You're referring to the original owner, Miss Meng, right? She already sold the villa to us. It's impossible. Qi Si-han's voice trembled with emotion. She was such a kind person. Why would she sell her house? How could she do that without telling me first? The man glanced at Qi Si-han and said with disdain, you suspect her without any reason at all. No wonder she sold the house without even telling you. After saying that, he slammed the door shut with a loud noise. Qi Si-han stood there, dumbfounded, unable to believe what happened. He took out his phone to send a message to Meng Yuan, asking for an explanation, but he found that she had already blocked him. He trembled while trying to call Meng Suiyan, but no one answered the phone at that time. Qi Si-han's sense of unease grew increasingly strong. He suppressed the anger and irritation in his heart, and then called his assistant. Find out where Meng Suiyan is currently located, and have him contact me immediately. On the other side, I am enjoying the sunshine on the beach in Country M. He Lin came over with a tall and strong man beside him. Sister Yu, this is my brother. He said he wants to thank you for bringing me back. He Lin, of course, is the young man I met in the mental hospital. He Lin's father ran a large shipbuilding business in Country M. He had many children. 3 years ago, He Lin suffered from severe depression, which led to his being sent back to his country for treatment. He was raised by his aunt. Unexpectedly, his half-brother, in order to deprive him of his future right to inherit the family property, bribed his aunt to send him to a mental hospital. As a result, He Fu was extremely disappointed in him. Moreover, He Lin's personal safety was at risk, and he couldn't contact anyone outside to defend himself. Until he met me. After sending him back to the He family, in order to thank me, the He father gave me a manor on the spot. I didn't expect that he actually had a brother who had such a close relationship with him. I put down my drink, and saw that both of them were black-skinned with dark eyes. Their eyes were long and narrow, with sharp, pointed lips. However, Lin still had a bit of a youthful appearance, while his brother had deep-set eyes, indicating a more mature demeanor. He reached out to me. "Hello, miss you. I am He Ting. It's a pleasure to meet you. On the day you brought Lin back, I was away from here for business purposes, and I didn't have the chance to thank you properly." Lin bumped into his brother on the shoulder. "Brother, my surname is Meng. Why are you shouting like that?" He Ting's eyes showed a hint of surprise. I quickly explained. "Ah, Lin, I forgot to tell you that I changed my name before going abroad. Now, I use my mother's surname. You Sui Yen." I took Heng Lin's hand. "I'm very glad to meet you." Only then did He Ting start to laugh relaxedly. "The surname Yu is quite rare. It's a beautiful Chinese character." He handed me the jewelry gift bag that He Lin was holding. "This is a pink diamond necklace that I bought at an auction a few days ago. I wanted to give it to Miss Yu as a small token of gratitude. It's nothing too much." Watching him speak Chinese in a very formal manner, I couldn't help but find it somewhat amusing. Although He Ting and He Lin are brothers with similar appearances, their personalities are quite different. He Lin was bold and adventurous, while He Ting was more mature and deliberate. Even his words were precise and well-crafted. As I was about to accept his thank you gift, I suddenly noticed in my peripheral vision that not far behind him, there was a man wearing sunglasses, walking straight towards us. It's very hot outside. The tourists on the beach are all wearing only bikinis and swimsuits, while that person is wearing a loose, dark-colored shirt. He slowly raised his hand. "Be careful." I instinctively pulled He Ting towards me. Boom! The sound of gunfire rang out, and people on the beach began to scream and run away. He Ting immediately understood what was going on. While he tried to dodge me, he simultaneously pulled a gun out of his bosom. "Don't be afraid." He covered my eyes with one hand. All I heard was a dull sound of gunfire, followed by even louder screams. He Ting exhaled deeply and said softly, "It's okay now. The sound of sirens is now coming closer." He Ting stared at me, her eyes filled with a sense of shock. "Miss you. You saved my brother once, and now you've saved me again. He Ting, owe you something. If you ever need my help in the future, just ask for it." At this moment, he seems to have shed that layer of polite facade. His eyes are wild and intense. A faint scent of pine wood drifted through the air, and his tall figure seemed to envelop me completely in his embrace. I coughed slightly, feeling uncomfortable, and broke free from his embrace. "The police are here. Let's deal with the situation first." Chi Sihan waited for 3 days, but still received no any news about Meng Suiyan at all. The assistant has confirmed that Sui never boarded that flight to Switzerland at all. However, he also failed to find out where Ye went every year, because Meng Suiyan purchased all the flights for those 3 days. Chi Sihan's eyes were red with anger. He slammed his fist onto the office desk, feeling deeply frustrated. How could this happen? She clearly agreed to give her 100 million, and all problems were settled once and for all. He never expected that she would actually run away with that 100 million. It wasn't until she completely disappeared from her own world that Chi Sihan realized how important Meng Suiyan was to him. It turns out that his previous indifference was merely a way of ensuring that Meng Suiyan would remain in the same place forever. In a state of anxiety, a thought that seemed impossible arose in Chi Sihan's heart. If he hadn't divorced her, if he hadn't forced Lin Huan to move into their home, if he hadn't forced her to change her name, maybe she wouldn't have left. Wouldn't she? Chi Sihan felt a bitterness in his heart. I'm really too stupid. He's just a bastard. Even Lin Huan is nothing more than a daughter of the Meng family, also born out of wedlock. How could he have deeply hurt Sui's heart just because of those two people? He held the photo on the table, his hands trembling. Meng Suiyan wrote those words on those small pieces of paper, smiling at him gently, just like before. Just at this moment, Lin Huan walked in through the door. She had red eyes. "Brother Sihan, you haven't been home for 3 days already. The son can't see his father anymore, and he keeps crying every day. Could you please go back and see him?" But Chi Sihan simply said, in a hoarse voice, "Get out." Lin Huan stepped forward to help him. "Brother Sihan, my sister has left already. She treated you so cruelly by taking away all your money and leaving you behind. There's nothing you could feel attached to her anymore. My son and I will take care of you instead of her. In the future, we will still be a happy family. If you miss her, you can consider me as her replacement. I don't care about anything else." Chi Sihan grabbed her neck and violently interrupted her. "Shut up." He said this with gritted teeth. "You aren't like her at all. You don't deserve to be compared to her at all. If it weren't for you, none of this would have happened. You and your family deceived her for 3 years, taking her everything, her husband, her family, even her name. You stole everything from her. If it weren't for you, she would still be by my side right now." Lin Huan grabbed his hand, coughing painfully, but her eyes gradually became distorted. "Sihan, are you blaming me now? Don't forget the hardships she has endured over these 3 years. You also played a role in that. The reason she decided to leave in such despair was precisely because of you." Lin Huan struggled to break free from his grasp, shouting hoarsely, "Chi Sihan, please stay awake for a moment. You slept with me for 3 years, and having a child was your own choice. Now, everyone in S City knows that I am your wife. Meng Shuian has long been forgotten by everyone. She won't come back anymore. You can only live a good life with me." Chi Sihan, however, sneered coldly, staring at her intently. "Madam, do you really think that just by getting the certificate, I can become your husband?" Lin Huan, in S City, I, Chi Sihan, have plenty of ways to deal with this situation. Chi Sihan's dark-colored eyes revealed a trace of bloodthirsty madness. His voice was low, warning Lin Huan, "It's better for you to leave my office right now and go home to pray that I can find Meng Shuian. Otherwise, I can't guarantee anything will happen." Fear finally appeared in Lin Huan's eyes, and she ran out, crawling and rolling along the way. The assistant suddenly stepped in, shouting urgently, "President Chi, we have found some clues about where the lady might be." While speaking, he placed the computer in his hand before it was placed in front of Chi Sihan's face. "In Country M, there was a shooting incident recently. Look, does this woman resemble the wife of the victim?" Chi Sihan trembled as he used his fingers to click the mouse to zoom in on the photo. "It's really her." Chi Sihan's heart beat very rapidly. He spoke in a deep voice, saying, "Prepare a private plane for me. We're heading to Country M right now. The matter regarding the beach incident has been thoroughly investigated. It seems that He Ting took action against the fourth brother of the He family who was involved in framing He Lin. Therefore, it appears that the fourth brother of the He family intended to take revenge. Now, He Jiazui's fourth son has had his property taken away by his father, and he has been sent to live on a remote island. The matter is now settled, but He Ting still keeps showing up before me from time to time. On this day, I was about to go out to check out the restaurant. Just as I stepped out of the door, I encountered He Ting again. His Lambo was parked at my doorstep, blocking all possible routes for me to avoid. He Ting rolled down the window, her lips curling into a cheerful smile. "Miss you. What a coincidence. Where are you going? Shall I give you a ride?" I leaned my head back against it. "He Ting, it's not even a coincidence. This is my house. It's already the 8th time you appear here this week." I thought he was mature and steady, but even when he doesn't have to act like a rebel, he still handles things with ease. He truly deserves to be called a brother of He Lin. After all, they share the same mother. He smiled slightly, pretending to be surprised. "Is that so? I didn't expect that we would meet so many times. Miss you. You really have a great memory, don't you?" Seeing that I was about to get angry, he finally raised his hand and surrendered. "Year after year, please don't get angry. This is what I owe you. This place isn't safe at all. Since you refused to accept the bodyguards we offered you, it's safer for me to take you with me. I feel a bit helpless. At first, I brought He Lin back here with the intention of using the influence of the He family to get rid of Chi Sihan completely. Chi Sihan is quite obsessive-compulsive. He definitely won't be able to accept that I leave without saying anything. What if he still tries to contact me after I leave? With He Lin's help, Chi Sihan will at least not dare to act rashly. But I didn't expect that the ocean of the He family would also be quite turbulent. I sighed, and made up my mind that in 1 month, I would leave Country M. By then, I hope Chi Sihan will have forgotten about me by then." Seeing that I was more willing to cooperate, He Ting took out a large bouquet of roses from the car. "Dear lady, would you like to dine with me tonight?" I took the flowers, and was about to open the car door and get in, when suddenly a car braked suddenly at the side of the road. The car door opened, and a person rushed out and grabbed me. "Year after year, I finally found you." Chi Sihan spoke with excitement in his tone. "Would you like to go home with me? Didn't you say you wanted to go to Switzerland? I'll accompany you on your vacation." My expression became colder. Chi Sihan. You've come to the wrong person. If you want a vacation, go and find your wife and son. I have nothing to do with you at all. I tried hard to get away from him, but he held my wrist tightly, not letting go. Every year. Are you still angry with me? I've already divorced Lin Huan. He looked extremely haggard, with green stubble growing on his chin. There were 2 dark circles under his eyes. During the days when you were away, I couldn't eat or sleep well. Year after year went by, and it wasn't until after you left that I realized how important you were to me. I regret it now. Can you please forgive me? Before I could say anything, He Ting already grabbed his collar and lifted him up, then threw him away. He narrowed his eyes. His tone was cold and harsh. Year after year. Who is this person? Do you want me to send someone to teach him a lesson? Only then did Chi Sihan notice the presence of He Ting. He looked at He Ting, then at the flowers in my hand. He seemed somewhat incredulous. Year after year. You leave me just for a few days at a time. Do you really become friends with this little boy? He Ting had a gloomy expression on his face, and he clenched his fists. I quickly grabbed He Ting, wrapped my arms around his shoulders, and smiled at Chi Sihan. Chi Sihan. It doesn't matter who I choose to be with, you have no control over that. Remember, we are already divorced. If you keep bothering me again, don't blame my boyfriend for being ruthless. He Ting's eyes lit up. Chi Sihan became even more furious. Who does he even count for? He stared at me intently. Year after year. You can't try to get away from me. As long as I want to take you with me, there's no point in you running to Country M. He took out a black card, then turned to look at He Ting. Brother, this card contains $500,000. Now, you must break up with my wife. All of this money belongs to you. He Ting sneered in laughter, without saying a word, but it was clear that he had full of disdain in his tone. I sneered and said, Chi Sihan, didn't you find out who he was before coming to me? If you really have the ability, just take me away from the He family. He family? Is it that same He family, who is known as the King of Ships? Chi Sihan was like someone who had been struck by lightning. He stepped back by half a step. Even so, but we have had 10 years of relationship together. How could you just let it go so easily? He still wasn't willing to give up, clinging to the last shred of hope as he continued to ask questions. If you think about your family again, you still have your father and brother in S City. Do you really not care about them anymore? I sneered, speaking with disgust. Chi Sihan. I was kept in the dark all these years. It wasn't until now that I learned why my mother died of depression at such a young age. It turns out that my father had already started a new relationship and had a new daughter outside his marriage. I've been deceived by my father for over 20 years. Do you really think I still care about him? Chi Sihan opened his mouth, his voice filled with pain. You clearly promised me that. You said that as long as I give you money, you would erase all the past mistakes from memory. I interrupted him coldly. Yes. All of our past feelings have been erased completely. I turned my face away in disgust, and pulled He Ting along with me. Let's go quickly. I don't want to see him anymore. He Ting glanced at him, her narrow black eyes filled with coldness. I know that he probably won't let Chi Sihan go easily. It was during the meal that he told me that Chi Sihan would never bother me anymore. I nodded my head, without asking any further questions. Chi Sihan had one of his legs broken, and he had to return to S City in a miserable state. He locked Lin Huan indoors and stopped all cooperation with Mrs. Meng. Meng Fu and Meng Yuan came to their doorstep. Sihan, what exactly happened recently? Why did we have to cancel the cooperation? Don't we always have cooperated well between our two families in the past? Now that you're withdrawing your investment, the Meng family's financial support will be severely strained. Meng Fu was described as being extremely haggard. In just one night, he seemed to have aged 10 years. And Huan, why can't we contact her anymore? Sihan, what exactly has happened? Chi Si smirked coldly, uttering every word with the twisted anger in his heart. This is just the beginning. In the future, the Meng family will go bankrupt, become insolvent, and end up in prison. Chi Sihan, you are completely crazy. Why do you act like this? Upon hearing this, Meng Yuan could no longer contain the anger in his heart. He punched Chi Sihan in the face. Did you really fall in love with another woman, and that's why you want to get rid of Meng? Both of my sisters have married you already. Aren't you satisfied? What do you really want to do? Chi Sihan wiped the blood from the corner of his lips, his smile cold and sinister. What should I do? I want to return to my side year after year. He roared with red eyes. If it weren't for your efforts to provoke Sway Sway, she wouldn't have left. In the past, I treated you well because I really cared about you. But now, you're the thing I hate the most. I must help her get rid of you. If it weren't for you guys who brought Lin Huan into my bed, how could the relationship between me and Sway Sway have ended like this? You all, and Lin Huan as well. I will make you pay for this. Meng Yuan grabbed his collar and said through gritted teeth. It was you who noticed Huan Huan first. You beast. Several people started fighting with each other, until the police arrived. A few days later, Meng declared bankruptcy, unable to bear the loss. Meng's father died suddenly at home due to a cerebral infarction. Meng Yuan argued with Qi Sihan. During the fight, both of them fell from a high building, and both died. And Lin Huan. By the time someone finally found her, she had been locked in the basement by Qi Sihan for nearly a month. She became mentally ill and turned into a madwoman. I learned about these messages later on. After dealing with Qi Sihan and all his troubles, I flew solo to Switzerland. At the foot of the Alps, the lakes are crystal clear like jade. The gentle breeze from the mountains carries away all the worldly troubles and distractions. Once, someone said that they would accompany me as we traveled through mountains and rivers. I thought that I was the one whom they cared about. But later, I realized that in fact, I longed for those endless mountains and rivers more than anything else. A voice came from behind me. Miss you. What a coincidence. I happened to meet you again. I turned around, and the mountain wind began to blow again. He Ting's coat flapped in the wind, and his calm demeanor revealed a smile as he walked towards me slowly.